Okay, this is day 3 of our trip to Israel. The group here is meeting in the lobby, gathering our suitcases to put them on the bus. And we're heading out to Caesarea Maritima, which is on the Mediterranean Sea. You can see the different highlights here, different places to see in the city. Only part of the city has been excavated. It was a huge city. Caesarea was built by Herod the Great. It was named after the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus. It was Herod the Great that had killed all the children 2 years and younger. And Caesarea was at that time, during the time of King Herod, the largest seaport in the Roman Empire. So some references here in Acts where they talk about Paul being brought down to Caesarea and about the centurion. And then some more references in Acts about Philip the Evangelist had a house in Caesarea. And the last one here is Paul actually was imprisoned here in Caesarea, and we actually have a picture of his potential prison where he was stayed for 2 years. Now we're entering the Caesarea National Park. This is the entrance, and the first thing we see is the back side of the amphitheater. This is our guide Omer, who was with us the entire time through our trip. Now we're entering into the amphitheater. This is quite a sight to see as our tour group begins our 11-day tour of sites in Israel. This amphitheater is quite amazing. Again, built by Herod the Great. This is where they had different events. And these are all the original stones for the amphitheater. So you can see the entrance and some of the pointedness, the domed arch entering into this amphitheater, and you can see how the weather has deteriorated some of the rock, but this is original rock. It actually was covered in some kind of a rock, plaster over the top of it, which has been eroded away. This is the amphitheater itself. Our guide here is speaking, and you can clearly hear him. The acoustics in this place are really great. This is all original rocks that we're sitting on, and the floor is original. Amazing. Again, built over 2,000 years ago. Some of the stones. We're walking through the city itself. You can see some of the sites here. We're going to walk down where King Herod lived and Pilate also lived, right on the water here. This is Daniel and Carol. Looking out over the Mediterranean Sea. This is the prison where Paul was probably imprisoned in this, if you look down into this. This is the house of Pilate. How do we know it's the house of Pilate? Because it says on this stone, this is where Pilate lived. And looking down into where Paul might have been imprisoned into this space underground here. This actually is that Herod built this pool. It was a freshwater pool right on the ocean. Amazing that he brought fresh water in. Again, picture of the freshwater pool and the floor. Some of the pillars of the house. Good pictures here. This is the Hippodrome, which seated 60,000 people. Were walking through it. It was where they had chariot races. I understand they had 2 hippodromes here in the city. All the original stones. Huge facility, just like you would see in Ben-Hur. Right on the water.
Somewhere here.
These are the vaults. Where items were stored. Now we're heading out. You can see the walls of the city. So various people occupied the city over time. Muslims were there in 1641 AD, Crusaders in 1101, and Louis IX built a castle in 1251, and then it was destroyed by the Mamluks in 1291. Lots of history in the city over the years. This is the entrance built by the Romans. This is how they made the entrance so they can have people up on those windows, maybe with arrows shooting down. And this is where the water. This was, I believe, filled full of water in the walls of the city. Quite amazing. The second place we visited on day 2 is Tel Megido, as you can see here looking down on an aerial photograph. So you can see Megiddo here in the bottom left. It's in the southern part in the Valley of Jezreel, which is the Valley of Armageddon. So we're going to be looking over the Valley of Armageddon to the north, east. And you'll see as we kind of climb up this Tel. Tel is a man-made mountain created by building one city upon another over time. And you can see as you climb up here, the steps to this Tel. It's quite a long hike up to the top of this. I think there was 20-some layers in this Tel. The Hebrew word for this mountain is Harmageddo, and over time in cultures this became one word called Harmageddon or Armageddon in Greek. you can look down on the different sites of this. The ghetto was a fortified city made by King Ahab that dominated the valley of Jezreel. So we're looking over that valley here to the north. Looking north over the valley of Armageddon. And another picture looking north. Beautiful valley. A lot of vegetation. And our group, as we look forward, as we're looking out over the valley here. Of course, in the Bible, this talks about Armageddon in the future, as there's going to be a Valley of Armageddon war. Spoken in Revelation 16:16 and Zechariah 12:11.
Valley of Armageddon.
It's amazing just to be looking out over this site. Somewhere there's a underground airport for for Israel. We never could see it. So next we visit Nazareth, the place where Jesus grew up as a child. This is a picture or a map of where Nazareth is, just north of the Jezreel Valley. We'll be looking south. Nazareth is just to the left of Mount Tabor there. So this is a picture of a sign to Nazareth. And we're heading up the mountain, or hill. Some of the rocks as you lead your way up. This is our guide Omar talking to us as we're looking south over the Jezreel Valley, and this is just a pointer where the different hills are. He'll describe these to us as he looks around, does a 360 over standing.
We have another view of the Valley of Armageddon, which is down below me. We have been right before this point. Okay, let's go to this. Everybody see the road that goes down?
Yeah.
Yep. Main road. Go to the big city. Everybody see the big city? This is Afula. From Afula, go to the right. There is a road going towards the mountains.
Yep.
This is the road that leads to Megiddo. Alright? At the end, where the mountains begin, you see there's a mouth inside the mountains. There's like a ravine. See that? That's Megiddo. This, where we just had our lunch. Right over there. That's Megiddo. Alright? We looked over.
Again, looking south into the Valley of Armageddon, different pictures. Look far enough, you can see where we were in the previous location on the Tel Megido. And the city of Nazareth, quite a big city. Finally, we wrap up our day by arriving at our hotel in Tiberias on the Sea of Galilee, also known as the Sea of Tiberias. You can see where we're at there, the bottom left, Tiberias. On the map, this is one of the signs coming into the city. like. And the first thing we did is to get in the Sea of Galilee and try out the pool. Very nice place that we stayed in. We're heading down to look for the first time and put our feet in the Sea of Galilee. What an experience. So there's these little fish that swim around. They're about 4 inches long. They want to nibble on your feet. And everybody that got in was kind of laughing, giggling as these fish are
U-Boutique
nibbling
Hotel
on your feet.
on the Sea of Galilee. Julie is coming down. What do you want to say, Julie? Sea of Galilee, she says. Yeah. So you got little steps here to come down. A little trail. And the tourist boat. And Julie taking a picture of me while I take a picture of her. Come on. Come on.
There's some pictures of the whole group as we're in the water. Quite amazing. Fun time. Fun way to start a trip.